Hey, what's up guys? Justin from Out of the Basement here, and today we're going to be doing a Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the new Star Wars The Black Series packaging, and this is specifically Teebo the Ewok from Return of the Jedi. I absolutely love this new Black Series packaging. It looks very slick. I like how each movie or show has its own numbering now and its own color scheme. I actually struck gold at Target a few days ago, and I've been reviewing these like every other day. I started off with the Stormtrooper and then Admiral Akbar, and finally this is my last one of that Target find with Teebo. Check your local Targets. They seem to be the first store that is getting these new waves, so let's check it out. We have the Black Series logo up here. We have the figure in its own separate window. The window is not part of the box. It's actually on the inside, and it's like, you know, kind of cut out like that. Down here, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, because that's what film this is from. Teebo, parentheses, Ewok, I guess, if you didn't know, whatever. On the side, we have that beautiful image of Teebo, and we have the Death Star up here. And with this new packaging, something very interesting. This is number 1 in the Return of the Jedi line now, and this will be number 2. And check this out. The figure completes, or the character completes, and then also the Mon Calamari like ship connects up here. So the packaging goes together and it connects. So pretty awesome. Can't wait to see what the next one is that will complete that other Death Star. The other half of the Death Star. In the back, we have that same picture of Teebo. We have the Black Series logo up here. Teebo the Ewok. Let's get a focus here. We have that classic Black Series description. An Ewok scout, Teebo sounded the horn, summoning the Ewoks to fight the Stormtroopers during the Battle of Endor. And then, of course, this is number 2 in the Return of the Jedi line because of the new packaging. And I really like this strip because it goes to the side and the front of the packaging, and it's kind of like that reflective material compared to the more matted box. There's a window up here, of course. They brought back the window. I recommend cutting the tape of the top instead of messing around with the side. Now, to justify the regular retail of $19.99 on this figure, this guy actually comes with quite a few accessories. This is like a spear. I'm gonna try to get this camera to focus. Sometimes it's a little difficult. Oh, there we go. You can see that the handle here is mainly, you can tell ever so slightly that it's sculpted to resemble wood. Kind of has light brown paint for the handle, and you can tell ever so slightly that it's sculpted to actually look like wood. We have this dark brown for what I think is like fur at the tip, and then there's that same shade of brown, or at least a very similar shade as the handle for like what looks like rope, and then a really nice spear. You could tell it's like kind of jagged and not 100% clean, but it is gray, and it looks like it has a bit of black wash on it to make it really look like a rock that is shaped to look like a spear. Now we also have this club weapon where it's pretty much the same paint as the other weapon with the handle, and it's ever so slightly sculpted to look like actual wood. And then there seems to be the same color for like this rope that is wrapped around the end, and then this really nicely sculpted rock that is of course shaped like a club. And I really like the mold of that rock, and it's the same thing with the other one. It looks like gray with like this nice black wash over it to make it look more realistic. Alright, and then we also have this dagger, this like little knife thing. Same thing, looks like gray for the rock shaped as a knife or a dagger with a nice little black wash. Trying to get a look at the other side. So yeah, you can see a little tiny bit of what looks like string at the end, and then brown. One thing I will say about these long handles of these weapons, I wish there would be a little variation with the paint, maybe give it a wash just to make it look a bit more realistic, but the tips and all the detail at the ends of them are really good, so it kind of offsets that. Here is Teebo the Ewok fresh out of the packaging, and I gotta say, this guy looks great. Let's take a closer look at detail. So coming in to take a closer look, you can see that face. I always try to start with the head sculpt. There's a lot of great sculpted fur and different paint on this head, specifically the face here. There's a lot of great fur. It's like gray mixed with black. You can find that all throughout the figure. But specifically, I really like the mouth, the nostril, and then the eyes. Like the little, not the eyelids, but the bottom eyelids and the nose and the mouth have this like flesh tone to it that looks really good. The eyes are black and glossy, just like how the Ewoks are. And then it has what I think, is that a yak face? Like, it kind of looks like a yak face trophy on the head. And something interesting is that this I believe can come off, but as you can see, his ears poke out of the holes, so I believe it would be a tad difficult reconnecting this. But you can pop off the head, take off this necklace of teeth, and even take off his weapon storage and horn here. So looking throughout the body, we have this really nicely sculpted necklace of teeth. We have like some gray plastic mixed with like this off-white for the teeth. We have the same thing up here with this animal head helmet trophy thing. I think that looks like a yak face. I don't know. We have some different colored, some honey mustard yellow right here for the feathers. I believe that is a feather connected to it. There's actually some decent sculpt work on the back for that animal trophy. But what I really like is this fur. Look at the detail in that fur. Some really, really great sculpt work, and I love how there's like some gray mixed with black, and it stripes all the way down. And I like how in the leg it has that black, and then it continues up on the torso even. So I really like the fur sculpt, and I like the mix of gray and black for like the different stripes. He has like this double strap across his torso, which has the horn that he uses to signal the attack against the Empire, which this is softer than what is over here, so you could actually move it around and have it in his hand if you want to pose him with that. We have some weapon storage right here. There's a lot of variety in the paint. That's where the dagger goes. I can show that later. But there is a lot of variety in this paint, and it continues. All of that good paint and all of that detail and great sculpt work continues on the back. No peg hole at the bottom of his feet. One thing I did notice as well, if you look at the hand, again, that flesh is like a variety, and even has some molded fingernails on both hands. And same thing with the feet. There's toenails and toes. Now, I don't want to do it because I don't want to reapply everything, but I do believe this can come off. I have popped the head off, so if you want to take this necklace off, and you could even take like all of this off. You could just have a naked Ewok with nothing on it if you truly wanted to. So getting into articulation, you can look up about that high and look down an actual kind of a decent amount, but it's kind of hindered by everything going on with this figure. It can of course rotate around. It's just on a ball joint. The arms rotate around. No butterfly joints. I think this is too small of a figure to have butterfly joints, but the arms do go out about that far and go in about that far. Of course they rotate around like so. Single jointed arm, which actually gives you more than 90-degree bend, which is great. These hands are pretty basic. I mean, it's a small figure, so I don't expect the most articulation. So these hands rotate around, and let me see. They are in a horizontal hinge. Could go up about that high and about that low. There's a few separate points here. You could tell where the crunch is, so you can crunch about that far back and about that far forward, just to give you a little demonstration. And of course that also means you can rotate at that mid crunch. And of course he has single jointed knees, which go far back, about that far. His Ewok can kick out about that far. He can kick back about that far. Also get a tiny bit of rotation. The lower leg does rotate like that. The feet has a small hinge that can go about that high and that low, and of course it does have ankle pivot. Here's what I was talking about earlier when I said he can hold his horn like that in that hand, whichever hand, but probably his right hand is better. That's pretty cool. That's almost like having an additional accessory, so that's pretty cool. For the dagger, it just slides right in there really nicely. And like I said, there's just some really nice customizable elements to this guy. You could have him hold both weapons, you could have him holding one weapon in one hand, or use both hands. Here's him holding a weapon with both hands, like I said. I think I prefer the spear. I like that look. Here he is next to an Imperial Stormtrooper. This is the new one. Check out that review. Here he is next to my previous review after the Stormtrooper of the Admiral Akbar. Some characters that would be good for scale in Return of the Jedi, such as C-3PO, R2-D2, a Scout Trooper, which would be pretty relevant considering Return of the Jedi, and the Battle of Endor. And then I'll throw him next to Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So overall, this is a pretty cool little dude. He comes with 3 accessories, and then I would say 4 if you're including that horn, and 5 if you're including the necklace, and 6 if you're including the helmet. Like, it comes with some really nice customizable stuff in terms of accessories. The detail is there. I love the mold. I love the sculpting of the fur specifically. There's a lot of paint variety. There's so much different paint on this guy. So the detail is there. You know, does it justify 20 bucks? You know, $19.99? That's up to you. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think, you know, we also have that Heroes of Endor set coming out with that, with the Endor versions of Luke, Han, Leia. It's going to come with another Ewok. It's going to be a different Ewok. I forget which one it was. So, you know, maybe they should have started out with Wicket. You know, it's up to your opinion, but I'm happy to finally have an Ewok. I mean, it's similar with the Admiral Akbar. We've been waiting for an Ewok for a super long time. So here we are with Teebo. I think he's a pretty decent figure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's it for my review. Again, I have been Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys in the next video.